Imagine there are two sellers, the exact same product, the same number of orders every month, and yet one of them pays almost twice as much as other to ship every single order. And the crazy part is he has no idea because the difference never really show up on his invoice. And it's hidden in one place that most sellers underestimate the way they run their logistics. And that are exactly what I will told you today. We are going to talk about something that a lot of importers only figured out too late. How e-commerce logistics actually works when you import from China. What we call fulfillment or 3PL. Not the simplified SASC version that you see everywhere. The real one, the one that decides your cost, your delivery times, your stock, your return, and in the end, your margin. And even from SINO Shipping, we work every day with sellers that who import from China. Amazon seller, Shopify brands, B2B, B2C, dropshippers, and over time, we keep noticing the same thing. The seller who does the best are not the only one that who find the right product. They are the one that who understand how their stock moves. Because in e-commerce, your margin isn't only designed when you negotiate with the factory. It is designed afterward too, in storage, packaging, shipping, restocking, quality control, and how you use every single unit you bought. Let's start with the basic, the 3PL. A fulfillment center is a partner that receives your goods after production, store them, prepare your orders one by one, and ship them to your customers on your behalf. You never touch a box again. Preparing an order in the industry, we call it pack and pack. The pack is grabbing the right product at the warehouse. The pack is boxing it up properly. Sounds very simple, and yet that is exactly where money is saved or even lost. So when your fulfillment is based in China, you got one very big advantage. Your stock stay close to the factory. You get the goods right after the production. Check the quantity. You inspect the field quality point. You label, you store, and only then you decide where the product go. Amazon, Shopify, a marketplace, B2B dropshipping. You stop letting your stock control you. You are the one who in control. And that brings me the first mistake that I see the most often. When you order from a Chinese factory, they almost always set a minimum quantity, sometimes 300 units, sometimes 500, or sometimes more. And the classic reflex, especially early on, is to send all of this straight to Amazon. On paper, it makes perfect sense. You order 500 units, you sell on Amazon, so you send all of them. Expect Amazon is a great delivery fast to your customer, but it's really the best place to store your entire inventory for months, especially when you don't know even your real sales will make it. The healthier moves into separate things. Your main stock stays in your 3PL in China, and Amazon only get what it needs to cover 1 or 2 months of sales. So instead of sending 500 units, you send 100, and the rest of the 400 units wait for your orders in your centers. Speed up your restock, they slow down. You are not stuck with the moment of inventory sitting in the wrong place. That is the whole point of a stock buffer. It lets you buy in volume from the factory without being forced to ship that whole volume to one spot. And it saves you from the FBA trap, because if you have got 500 units at Amazon and you only sell 50 a month, there is 10,000 of stock locked in one place. The Amazon hate that because of the long-term storage will go up. Your cash is just sitting and you do nothing because you lose your flexibility. Now let's talk about the money, because there's one cost that almost everybody gets wrong: shipping. You probably think that you will charge by weight. A 2 kilogram parcel you pay for 2 kilograms. In reality, the carrier looked at two things: the actual weight of the parcel and its volume, the space it takes up, and then they charge you on whichever is greater. That is called the volume weight. The reason is simple: on the plane or on the truck, the carrier isn't only sell weight, they are selling space. So a light product pack in the box that is too big can cost you more for the exact same product inside. You are paying for air. A lot of sellers who lose money right here. They think a bigger box means a better protection. Sometimes it does. Often it's just an empty box and you pay for the empty spaces. Now careful, the goal isn't to grab the cheapest possible options, packing either. So that is another mistake. The goal is to have a right balance between a strong protection to compact, not to pay the volume that you don't need. A good center doesn't pick the packing at random. It looks at the type of the goods, how fragile it is, the destination country, the shipping method, apparel, and electronic accessory. A fragile item or a kit of survive several products. None of them get grabbed in the same way. And there's something that may surprise you so far. We have talked about cutting your cost, but your biggest growth left isn't spend less, it's selling in more space. And that is exactly what good logistics could do. Amazon is huge, of course. No one will argue with that. But Amazon is just one sales channel. It is not a whole e-commerce market. That is Shopify, local marketplace, TikTok shop in some market, influencer-driven sales, B2B, all the customer who can buy directly from you. If you build a real brand, so if all your stock stuck in the Amazon, you're limited yourself. You depend on a single channel, and the day the channel slow down, your ad get more expensive, or you losing visibility. You have got far less room to move. A good fulfillment center fixes that. With a system that connects your store to a warehouse, you centralize your inventory, sell across the several channels at once. So the order comes in Shopify, Amazon, other marketplace, lands at the center automatically. The teams prepare for the parcel, shipping, and the tracking goes back to the right place. You are not managing 10 separate inventories. And the most importantly, you avoid a really common problem, having a stock somewhere, but not where the demand is. Because very often the real problem isn't lack of stock, it is stock in the wrong place. This also set up unlock more advantageous play, like branding or bundle. Branding is simple. Instead of a plain parcel, you prepare packagings with your brand. Add and insert a polish a customer experience. But be careful not to grow your margin on it. Premium packages that is too heavy or too bulky calls when you're shipping. The right call in packing is that to protect, stay reasonable and not professional. Bundle on other way, raise your average order value. Instead of selling one product alone, you group several items into one offer. A main product win and necessary, and it gets put up together in the warehouse at the moment of the order using the product you already have in stock. The only catch if your system doesn't track the component properly. You may be thinking a bundle is available, one of the product is actually out of stock. So it is a greater level as long as your inventory is tracked properly. And that's bring us to something beginners completely underestimate, the stockout. Because in e-commerce, a stockout isn't just a few missing sales. On Amazon, it hurts your ranking. Your product drop, competitors take your spot, and when you come back in stock, you don't always get your position back. And the real problem is that a lot of sellers think they're restocking too late. They look at their stock, see they haven't got few units left, and figure it out they have time. But when you import from China, you can't think like that. You have to think in terms of the full lead time. The lead time isn't just shipping. It is production at the factory, quality control, preparation, transportation, customer clearance, then receive the goods and putting them back in your stock in the channel. If that whole cycle takes 35 days, your reorder point has to be calculated at least 35 days before you run out. Not when you got 3 boxes left, not when you're already starting to panic. It's how many days of sales do I have left, given the time it takes me to restock. Here is an example. You sell 10 units per day and you've got 300 left. You don't have 300 units of stock. You have 30 days of coverage, and if your full cycle takes 35 to 40 days, you are already late. That is a real mindset shift. The beginner look at the available stock, and advanced seller look at the coverage in states. So that's where the good tracking system becomes essential. You need to know how many units you have, where they are, how many are available, how many are already reserved, how many are in transit. That is the job of WMS, the software that tracks stock inside in the warehouse. Without getting too technical, just remember one thing: never manage your stock blind. And the last thing is probably one of the most important: track quality before the product leaves. A lot of sellers want to move fast. They find a factory, place an order, ship it, and then they figure it out. They see how it goes. But when you import from China, we will see can get it very expensive. A defect caught in China can usually be fixed. A defect found by your customer turns into a return, a refund, bad review, or loss of trust, and they start upstream. With the choosing of the factories, a cheaper factory isn't good deal of it if the product has more defect, communication badly, or doesn't get your standards. Then you inspect before shipping, not just checking the cartons are there, but that is the product match the order. The quantities are right, the labels are correct, and the visible defects are caught before everything ship out. Because once the product has gone, every problem gets more expensive to fix. Logistics doesn't start when the parcel leaves, it starts long before, when you pick up your suppliers and set your standard. So let's go back our 2 sellers from the start. The one paying almost double doesn't necessarily have the worst product. He isn't less smart, and he isn't working less. He is losing money through the decision he never really measured. Stock sent to Amazon too early. Packing built to protect, not to optimize the shipping. We stock based on the unit left instead of fully tanked. Quality control done too late once the problem is already in the customer hand. And the worst part is that each of those decisions looks reasonable on its own, but there's a trap. It's not one of the huge mistakes that destroy the margin. It is all built up from the small logistic division that stack together completely change where that business is profitable. And that is the whole message of the video. Your product make the sale, but your logistic protect the margin. It is what led you to deliver properly, avoid stockout, cut the return, and scale without losing the control. If you want to see what this could look like for your own business, we do a free code. The link is in this description. Tell us about your product, your volume, your channel, and we will look after at what we can set up. There's no commitment. And next time, I will take you inside our center here in China. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe and drop a like, and I will see you soon.